Welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm gonna be cooking the best, creamiest macaroni and cheese. I already have my water on the heat. Get that to boil, and I have another pot to make my cheese sauce. So I'm gonna go start on that as well. Heat that up, and by the time the macaroni is cooked, I should be ready with the sauce as well. Take a tablespoon of butter, melt that in the pot. While that's melting, I'm gonna cut up my cheese. I'm gonna just use cheddar cheese, but you can use all kind of different cheeses or mixes of cheeses. I'm gonna use 4 ounces. That. I may end up using more cheese, so I'm going to leave this out here. It always depends on my mood. We're going to add a tablespoon of flour into our melted butter. Dissolve it. Bring it a little bit closer so you can see what I'm doing. So as you can see, my butter is melting. I'm mixing my flour into the butter. If you don't see it in this consistency, you might need to put in some more butter. I'm going to turn this down to medium now. And toast this flour mixture just for 30 seconds or so. Take 1.5 cups of milk. Just pour some into the pot first until that gets mixed in. See how this is thickening already? So this is your basic bechamel sauce that you are starting to make, and then gradually add some more milk. Keep stirring. Now if you feel more comfortable, you can use one of these whisks. Especially if your mixture is starting to get clumpy. But again, as long as you have it on a lower heat and stir real fast, like I'm doing it, and gradually add the cold milk, you should not have clumping. But if you do, at the end, you can always just strain your mixture before you add your cheese. See how smooth that is? So now I'm going to put the rest of the milk in here. And again, just make sure you mix that up. While this is heating up a little more, I'm going to deal with my pasta. So into boiling water, I'm going to add 2 cups of elbow macaroni. So this will make 4 generous servings. I added a little salt into this cooking water. Cook your pasta for 10 minutes. And now let's return to our cheese sauce. At this point, if you want, you can turn up the heat just to bring this to a slight boil. I'm going to put a little bit of ground black pepper. Occasionally you want to stir your pasta so it doesn't stick to the bottom. At this point, you can start adding your cheese into this white sauce and start melting it. I would not put more than a couple of ounces at a time. See how it's melting into the sauce? Now you want to turn down the heat because you don't want it to boil too hard. And then keep adding your cheese. I may add a couple of more ounces in this. We'll see how the consistency is and the taste. So this is real time, so you can see how long it takes. At this point I'm gonna taste it. It does look good as far as the color. Be careful with this. I think I'm gonna need more cheese. Another 2 ounces, so we're up to 6 ounces of cheese. I'm gonna put a little bit, very tiny bit of salt. The cheese is salty, but I put a lot of milk in here, if you remember, a cup and a half, so based on the taste earlier, I do need some more. That looks like a nice, smooth, cheesy sauce. I'm going to taste it again. It's perfect. Now, in addition to just the black pepper, you can put in additional things like some mustard powder. You can put a little bit of garlic powder maybe, or even put in some nutmeg, just a little bit, because it makes it like, what's that in there, right? I'm not gonna do any of that right now. I'm just gonna keep it pretty plain. That's the basic recipe. You can always make this into a meal as well. Just cut in some hot dog pieces into the final product. It's all melted. So the sauce is done. Now I'm just gonna have to wait for the macaroni to cook. If your sauce is just too thick for your taste, what you can do is take some of the pasta cooking water, maybe a couple of tablespoons or even more, and mix that in here, especially if you like your mac and cheese nice and creamy and loose instead of a big block of pasta. Pasta is done. Just drain it. Put it back into the pot. Pour the cheese sauce over it. Oh man, that looks already good. Because it is done. Look at that. At this point, it should be soupy. As it cools, it will absorb the cheese sauce. As I said, this will make 4 generous helpings. Look at the delicious cheesiness of this pasta. Enjoy! See you next time.